Vous êtes morts.
He says you've both been marked for death, like Han and the girl.
Oh, sister, turn your back. You don't want to see this. Who is y'all sharing and how do we find him? Tell us right now, I'll cut you.
In February 2018, Tucker officially confirmed that Rush Hour 4 was happening. On ESPN's podcast The Plug, he said, "It's happening. This is going to be the rush of all rushes. Jackie is ready, and we want to make sure people never forget it." With that exciting news, how could we not dive into everything we know about the upcoming movie? So let's break it all down. It's been 17 years since Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker teamed up as Lee and Carter, but fans are still eagerly waiting for any news about Rush Hour 4. The first Rush Hour dropped in 1998 and was a massive success, raking in nearly $250 million globally. It solidified Jackie Chan as an international action star and made Chris Tucker a household name, all while kicking off a beloved action comedy franchise. Rush Hour 2 followed in 2001, and Rush Hour 3 came out in 2007, but the series has been pretty quiet since then. Even though it's been a long break, there's still a ton of hope that Rush Hour 4 could bring the franchise back to life. The trilogy was a highlight of early 2000s action comedies, and it left a lasting mark on the buddy cop genre. The demand for a fourth film is totally understandable. The first Rush Hour introduced us to the hilarious dynamic between Hong Kong Inspector Lee and loudmouth LAPD detective James Carter as they teamed up to rescue the kidnapped daughter of the Chinese consul in LA. The mix of culture clash, fast-paced action, and the undeniable chemistry between Chan and Tucker made the film such a hit. The big question now is whether Rush Hour 4 can keep that magic alive after all these years. With the franchise still loved by fans, a new installment could inject fresh energy into the action comedy world. Whether they continue the story or reinvent it with new twists, it'll be interesting to see if Chan and Tucker can reunite on screen and deliver the same humor and excitement that made Rush Hour such a fan favorite. So, as we know, Chris Tucker confirmed that Rush Hour 4 is in the works, but Jackie Chan also made some noise at the Red Sea Film Festival. During a rare on-stage appearance, he told fans that he's in talks to make the fourth Rush Hour movie, saying, "We're talking about Part 4 right now." He even mentioned he was meeting with the film's director that evening to discuss the script. Now, he didn't name-drop the director, but Brett Ratner directed the first 3 films. However, things are complicated with Ratner. He hasn't directed anything since 2014, and back in 2017, several actresses, including Olivia Munn and Natasha Henstridge, accused him of sexual misconduct. As a result, Warner Brothers cut all ties with him. But let's rewind to when Jackie Chan almost passed on the Rush Hour franchise entirely. Chan initially thought the first Rush Hour would be a total flop. He was even ready to quit Hollywood due to the lack of interesting roles. He kept getting scripts where he played the same character, an East Asian detective in America. He was fed up, saying, "I tried so many times to go to Hollywood, but after that, I said no more Hollywood because my English is not good, they're not my culture, they don't like this kind of action." But then, Rush Hour landed at his desk. At first, he wasn't interested, but his manager convinced him to give it one last try. And wow, did it pay off? After the first weekend, Chan got a call from Ratner and Tucker telling him they'd made $70 million. That's when he realized, okay, this is a success, and then came parts 2 and 3. Despite his action-packed career, Chan is looking to shift gears. He's planning on doing fewer action films and more love stories, and he's currently preparing a drama aimed at women, which he hopes to release soon. Sounds like Jackie's still full of surprises. Even though we've got confirmation from both Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan that Rush Hour 4 is in the works, there's still no official release date. Warner Brothers hasn't made any formal announcements about the sequel either, but there have definitely been discussions. That said, since these talks have only started within the last several months, it's unlikely we'll see a release date anytime soon. So while the wheels are turning, fans might have to be patient for the next adventure of Lee and Carter to hit the big screen. And when it comes to the official cast for Rush Hour 4, there haven't been any announcements yet. But it's pretty much a given that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker will be back. The buddy cop dynamic between these two is what makes the franchise so special, and honestly, it wouldn't feel right without them teaming up again for another adventure. Plus, these guys have kept their friendship strong over the years. Tucker even presented Chan with his honorary Oscar in 2016. They've both expressed their excitement about returning to the franchise just to work together again. As for other familiar faces, there aren't really any major recurring characters from the previous films who would likely make a comeback. It sounds like we might be looking at a new director for this installment too. Given the sexual misconduct allegations against Brett Ratner, who directed the first 3 films, it seems unlikely that he'll return to direct this one. Warner Brothers has cut ties with him, so it'll be interesting to see who they bring in to take the reins for this new chapter. One more thing that might disappoint you is that there are no specific story details for Rush Hour 4 just yet. But hey, with a franchise this well established, there are definitely some things fans can look forward to and hope for in the next installment. Typically, the movies have Lee and Carter getting caught up in some wild international conspiracy that only they can solve. Plus, it would be awesome to see them visit another fish-out-of-water location. I mean, the first film had Lee in Los Angeles. Then in Rush Hour 2, Carter found himself in Hong Kong, and in Rush Hour 3, they both stumbled through France. As with most action comedies, though, the plot isn't really the star of the show. The narrative for Rush Hour 4 will probably stick to a relatively simple structure. The previous films haven't been known for their complex plots. Instead, they use the story as a backdrop for some fun action scenes and hilarious moments. What really matters is giving Chan and Tucker the chance to shine. We just want to see Tucker's quick-witted delivery and Chan's incredible martial arts skills in some epic creative action scenes. That's the magic of Rush Hour, and fans are ready for more of it. And since we're on the topic of what we want to see in Rush Hour 4, let's dive into a couple of things we really expect from the movie. First off, the growth of the relationship between Carter and Lee has been a big part of the series, and we've seen their fighting styles evolve together over the years. In the first Rush Hour, they were like oil and water when it came to their fighting. By Rush Hour 2, they started to find their rhythm, and by Rush Hour 3, they were nearly a perfect duo. For Rush Hour 4, we want to see them achieve true harmony in their fight scenes. Imagine how cool it would be to see their synchronized moves showcase how far Carter has come in martial arts. Of course, it wouldn't be Rush Hour without a healthy dose of comedy, so those action scenes need to have plenty of laughs sprinkled in. Another thing fans are curious about is the character of Isabella. She was notably absent from Rush Hour 3, and her absence was felt, especially since the movie referenced the fallout from their relationship. If you remember, Isabella dumped Lee after a chaotic shootout, where Carter accidentally shot her in the crossfire. Although there was a deleted scene where she made a return, it wasn't part of the official storyline. So, for Rush Hour 4, it would be great to see Isabella come back in a way that's actually canon this time. While she shouldn't be thrown into the action scenes, having her return would give Lee a chance to have a real relationship, showcasing his softer side. After all, he's supposed to be as cute as Snoopy, right? That balance of humor, action, and character depth would really make Rush Hour 4 stand out. Well, that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.